This is Conversations with Archbishop Joseph Kurtz for October already. We thank you for being here. If you'd like to join the conversation, comments or questions, send them along at any point to us. Conversations@archlu.org. Archbishop, we said October was a busy month. Indeed it is. And of course, it's Respect Life Month. What does the church do this month?
Yeah, what a great tradition and what a necessary tradition within our church to highlight October as that month for respect for human life. There are many things. Of course, if we look at it, Reed, there's always four directions, if you would, four pillars of what it means for respect. You won't be surprised to hear that the first is prayer. And so during this month, we have a number of opportunities in the prayer of the faithful and in our own personal prayer. We have special masses for a respect for human life. Secondly, there's education. And boy, things change so rapidly. Someone who says, well, I know all about that, boy, are they misguided, because I don't know all about all the intricacies involved. The church's teachings are very, very clear. The new challenges change daily. So education is so important. Then there is the notion of looking at policies. There's not only what you and I do when we make our decisions to be for life, but what do we as a nation do? How are the policies in keeping, if you would, in promoting a respect for human life? And we have many challenges, as you well know. And then the fourth part is the notion of advocating for something. And that could be as much as helping a pregnant woman in need of help, helping to promote good education, helping to get sounder legislation. So advocacy is a wide area. Those are the four principles that we try to rely upon.
Archbishop Kurtz, Pope Francis spoke, I think, rather eloquently about a culture of rejection and the danger of a throwaway culture.
Yeah, he in fact, it's very, he captures the imagination of people, because he is talking in very real terms about people who discard. They're used to discarding what they no longer need. We throw away cell phones very quickly because we think we can just get another one. And the danger now, and our Holy Father highlights it, is we're going to throw away people that we don't think we want. Look at the taking of life in the womb, the death of someone near the end of their lives, euthanasia. These are real threats. And of course, our Holy Father is talking about the gift of life in people who are poor, who need food and education and housing. We have a theme this year. It's a beautiful theme. It's called Open Your Hearts to Life, and it comes from our Holy Father, Pope Francis. And he is telling us in that theme, be careful that you don't become only a consumer. Do we have to shop? Do we need to get things to sustain our lives? Of course we do. But don't make that the only part of our life. He says, don't become so individualistic that you never think of anyone else, but think of others. And of course, the best way to do that is to get close to Christ. The closer you and I, and everyone who's watching, the closer we come to Christ, the closer we come to each other. So our faith impels us to a strong conviction to be for life, to be pro-life.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the activities and some of the things that parishes do during this month.
Yeah. The booklet, by the way, I want to pass by this booklet because there are always special additions in here, little packets that will talk about the sanctity of marriage. We'll talk about immigration. There's a wide range of issues, and our parishes are using opportunities for education. I think I had mentioned to you about St. Patrick Parish, in which Monsignor Bransfield's coming in to talk about For Life, and I went there last year. But throughout the Archdiocese, there are many opportunities there are initiatives that parishes are taking in order to have special times of prayer. There are a number with regard to the Rosary. One of the reasons we make sure that every parish receives this packet is so that the local pro-life committee, and we support the pro-life committees throughout the Archdiocese, they are growing more active, and more parishes are having pro-life committees, that they are given some guidance and are able to adapt things to their local setting. I especially am interested that our young people in our Catholic schools and in our programs of religious education are understanding how important it is to know how precious the gift of life is. And I think you know that twice a year I have a Mass for helpers of God's precious infants, in which we celebrate Mass at our cathedral. We process saying the Rosary to the abortion clinic, and in a very peaceful but a very courageous way, we promote the gift of life. And of course, that has to be matched also by our compassion in reaching out to others. So what a great time for people to get engaged in those four areas.
What do you think the most important thing people can do in order to keep the idea of respecting life at the forefront?
Well, I think it's prayer and education. And I think it begins with appreciating the people right in your midst. I mean, how easy it is for us to take for granted our own family. Mm-hmm. To take for granted people. It's easy to become selfish, and it's hard to turn away from that. You and I know how easy it is to get a bad habit, and how darn hard it is to get rid of that bad habit. And so I would say for people to know that their prayer and their education is going to help them in their own small circle of life, with the people right in their midst, right? As Mother Teresa used to say, the person who's already at your doorstep. But then also to feel the call to help within our society, to help with the pregnancy programs, to help with our Catholic Day at the Hill, in which we have the Kentucky Conference, the Catholic Conference of Kentucky sponsors so many things. There's just so many ways. And by the way, I know you're good to plug our archdiocesan website.
It's a good resource.
But ArchLou, if somebody says, well, I don't know where to begin, click on to archlou.org, and you'll find lots of ways to become engaged.
Once again, Archbishop, we are at the end of the road here. Wow. The conversation goes by quickly. I want to wish you Godspeed and happy travels as you travel to Rome during the course of the month, and we'll talk about that coming up, I'm sure. As always, the conversation goes by quickly. It wouldn't be complete unless you're there, and we're glad you are. And we'll look for you as we return again with Conversations with Archbishop Joseph Kurtz for November. Thank you for being here.